the protocol of relationship and marriage. Genesis 34. There's a protocol. Genesis 34. Please sit tight. There's a little more for you before we go. Genesis 34. Let me show you the protocol. There's a story in Genesis 34 of the Shechemites. One day, Dinah, the daughter of Jacob and Leah, went to visit some of the young women who lived in the area. That's another matter. I don't have time. She went to visit the daughters of the land who lived in the area. Maybe she became bored of staying around her brethren and said, let me explore, let me see what's happening there. You know what thing that mostly surprises me? Most of the stories, not most, some stories of rape, where do you think it happens? How can a rape take place in the brother's house? Huh? You carried your 2 legs to the brother's house and he raped you. Have you not heard those cases? One sister even said that she went to the brother's house because there was an assignment they gave them that she doesn't know how to do, and only the brother knows how to answer it. And she went alone in the night. And from solving questions, it began to solve what now? But listen to what I want to say. So Dinah went out to check the daughters of the land. Then what happened? Verse 3. Verse 2. But when the local prince, Shechem, son of Hamor, the Hivite, saw Dinah, he seized her and raped her. But then he fell in love with her, and he tried to win her affection with tender words. He said to his father, Hamor, get me this girl, I want to marry her. So 2 things I want to say here. First is the circle of relationship, the protocol, the order, how things should happen. Look at the protocol of relationship. In this context, this man saw this woman, and the Bible says he loved her. The second thing I want to say is about defining what is true love. Because the Bible says he loved her, right? And if he loved her, will he rape her? That is not love. That is lust. Lust obsesses you. Love makes you, what did he say? Brothers things. What did brothers benefit? Brothers benefit. That's lust. Sir? Daddy. Boyfriend benefits. Boyfriend benefit. That is lust. That is lust. But listen, look at the protocol. When he saw her, Bible says he seized her and raped her. Then he went and met who? His father. Then the father went and met Dinah's father. Listen. That is, you have broken the protocol. Protocol number 1. I have 13 protocols. I will mention them. 1, preparation. That's what you're doing now. You're learning, you're growing, you're studying. You're growing in your calling, finding God's purpose. You're crying, praying. Some of you, the kind of baggages that is in your father's house, you should be praying all night, all the nights. Break out of the barriers that limited your fathers. Some of you know where you're coming from. There's a generational setback in your life. Spend time in praying. That's what you should be doing now. Studying the Bible, crying that God show me mercy in this life. So that's number 1 phase. That's where most of you are. Find something to do. Then be actively doing. I see a lot of young people that are doing something with their hands. A lot of my young sisters doing chin, doing something. Find that's the part you are. Then number 2, you take time to begin to pray. Then get convictions. Then hear from God. Get to pray about who is my partner. Then get direction from heaven. God will lead you. God will order your steps. God will draw your attention to a sister. Then you begin to pray that God confirm it. Then number 3, listen, this is protocol. Protocol, listen. Because a lot of you here have broken the protocol. And I'm going to show you that where the foundation has been cracked, there's a problem. Number 4, pray and get your convictions and hear from God. Number 3, before you go ahead, you confirm your conviction in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. You confirm it. No matter how you feel. Even if you saw Jesus came himself and told you, John, Deborah is your wife. Arise and go and tell her. No matter how strong the voice is, you must get confirmation between 2 and 3 witnesses. And who are the 2, 3 witnesses? It can be brethren that love the Lord and and prayer partners, then you will necessarily need to inform your pastor. It's not when you have gone to propose. It's not when you have missed the protocol. Most of you, after you have finished the journey, you say like Samson, I found a wife, Father, marry her for me. It is wrong. It is wrong. From the day you began to conceive that sister in your heart, you carry your disciple along. Carry your pastor along. Some of you, a lot of things you're doing, we don't know. And you say, well, your pastor. I'm not your pastor. My sheep hears my voice. I've seen one or two people that said I've appeared to them in a dream and I caution them. And if I'm your pastor, I will caution you in your dream. The Lord himself uses my face, not myself, as it were. So, sir, you carry 2 or 3 witnesses. 3, and it includes your pastor, godly parents, or other elders in the body. Then number 3, this one, I don't know whether it comes here or later, parental consent. It depends on your relationship with your parents. Most times, you also get your parental consent at this point. But sometimes, it can be after. Parental consent is part of the protocol. You can't jump it. You must not marry without parental consent. Even if they don't agree, take time to pray and wait until they agree. Parental consent. Then, if your pastor, your discipler, 2 or 3 witnesses has confirmed, then you go and propose. Then when you propose, the sister also, you take the same circle. You also get confirmation from heaven. Sometimes you might see signal before time and you've started praying about it. Sometimes you might not have seen signal. Then when your brother proposes to you, start praying, asking God. Then you go to your pastor, you go to your discipler, say, this brother has come. Let me not expose somebody, but because you won't know her. A sister came today that a brother proposed to her. She came to my office, I said, correct. She carried us along. At the point of proposal, the brother just proposed some days ago. She came and shared it. I counseled her. This is what I feel. Go and pray about it. If it is God, He will lead you. He will guide you. I counseled her. She cannot miss it. The sister, also go and meet your mother in the Lord or whatever. The same circle continue. Then when there's a consent, please, sister, don't keep the brother too long if the Lord has given you a yes. It's not Christian that you're keeping it from 1 year, 6 months. For what? Is your ear so dull that you can't hear God? Who told you that you'll be cheap when you answer in 2 days or 3 days? Who told you you'll be cheap? Actually, you're expensive when you answer correctly at the right time. Don't keep these brothers too long if God has given you an answer. That's what I'm saying. Then after you have given consent, courtship, you enter another ship. From friendship, you change ship to courtship. From friendship, you enter courtship. I have a video I'm going to share with you. I'm going to give you a YouTube page. There's what you should do in courtship. I'm going to share it with you. After the service, please help us remember to tell them the YouTube page. There's what you do in courtship. Then after courtship, we don't recommend less than 6 months. And we don't recommend too long a courtship. Then you can agree on the dates. Carry the family along. Agree on the date for traditional wedding. Then church wedding. Then you can go to the marriage bed. That thing you'll be itching to do. After you have followed the protocol, please, you have the ticket. If you don't do, we will start asking you what's happening. Listen, there's time for everything. When you have sex before time, you're breaking the protocol. And when you break the protocol, there are consequences. I don't have time to deal with it. Don't have sex before marriage. Sexual relationship before marriage opens doors for demons. No, listen, let me shock you. Every sex, there is exchange. If there is physical exchange of fluid, you notice that sicknesses are caught in sex. They say most of the sicknesses, hepatitis, HIV, you get it through sex and all the like. If physical fluids are exchanged, how much of spiritual beings? Demons, the man has will enter you. Before you know it, you start doing some things that you don't like doing. There's a demon that sex brings into your life. So don't break the protocol. Don't have sex before you are married. I'll rest the rest of my case because we need to answer 1 or 2 questions before we leave. But lastly, I want to say that true love waits. True love waits. Bible said in 1 Corinthians 13, love is what? Patient. If you actually love this sister, you wait. You have self-control. No matter how there's something was doing you. There was something that one of our elders said in Bauchi then. that when you have a sister that you're cutting whatever, and you have sexual desires, and that thing wants to stand, you speak to it. Say, wait, there's time. Wait for the right time. So speak to your body. No matter how you feel like doing it, say, body, calm down. When you marry, you have all the liberty and all that. Speak to your body, speak to your system. Have self-control. There are unbelievers that don't have the Holy Ghost, but they've disciplined themselves not to have sex before marriage. How much of you, much more of you that is a believer, you speak in tongues? It is Christian sisters that are disappointing us. And the politicians come and they're looking for wives. It is Christian sisters that go and carry. These Muslim sisters, they keep themselves more. It's not right. It's not correct. This night, if you're here and you have defiled the marriage bed, part of the caution I'm bringing is that Bible said the marriage bed must not be defiled. So relationship that has sex is in the Bible, actual marriage is the sex itself. Sex seals the covenant of marriage. Marriage is a covenant, and the highest covenant you have is with the blood. If you want to have a strong covenant, you use blood. So God put something in the woman. The first man that breaks it has entered a serious covenant with her. Sex is more than physical. Sex is spiritual. That's why in the Bible days, when they're doing idol worshiping, they have sex. Have you noticed it? There's sex in idol worship. You see, sex is 5 minutes pleasure. Sir, that 5 minutes pleasure can give you a long pleasure in tomorrow. 5 minutes pleasure can give you the pleasure of sin is just for a while. But the consequence of that 5 minutes pleasure can be more than that 5 minutes. It's not worth it. I hope with these few words of mine, I've been able to convince you, not confuse you.